Okay, so what we're going to be doing at this station today is working with what we call straight edge and compass constructions. So first just kind of want to show you what it means by straight edge and compass. So this right here is called a compass tool, but it's not the only kind of compass that you'll have. In fact, the compasses that we're going to be working with are these. They're called safety compasses. I kind of prefer these because I think they're a little bit easier to use. But I'll kind of show you what I mean using this compass. So compasses are typically typically used for basically drawing circles. So if I were to use a compass like this one, this is the more traditional compass. This point right here goes at the center of the circle. And then you kind of hold this part still, and this part determines how big your circle is going to be. If it's wide, then it's a big circle. If it's small, then it's a small circle. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. All right. And there we go. There's our circle, drawn with our compass. Now, like I said, I kind of prefer to use the safety compasses because I think they're a little bit easier to use. So if I wanted to do the same circle with a safety compass, what represents the center of the circle is this bracket right here on the compass. So if I wanted my center to be, for example, over here, okay, I place that bracket there. And then in this compass, the length of the circle depends on which of these little dots you use to create that radius. So like if I want a big circle, I might use a dot that is out here. Okay? And then I just put my pencil or pen in that dot and then spin it around. And there's my circle. If I want a smaller circle, I could use one of the dots that are closer into the center. So like I could use this dot right here. Ooh, doesn't want to turn it on me there. Okay. All the way around. Okay. And there's my smaller circle. Not perfect, but close. Okay. Okay. So that's how we can use a compass. For a straight edge, all it means by straight edge is basically a ruler. But with our ruler, we're not going to be using the measurements on the ruler. Constructions are always done without actually measuring anything. It's just using the straight edge to literally draw a straight edge. But we're not actually going to be using the measurements that are on the ruler. Okay, so the first construction that we're going to do is we're going to actually copy a segment onto another line. So on your own paper, on these segment construction practice, I want you to draw a segment and label it CD. Make it about the same length as I did mine here because you don't want it to be too small or too big because we're going to be finding the midpoint here in a little bit. Okay, so take a minute and draw that segment and pause the video if you need to pause. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now is we want to take this segment, but basically I want to move it onto this line and keep it the same length without measuring it and using my compass and straight edge. So the first thing that you're going to do is you want to pick a point where this segment is going to start. So I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to have that be my point C that I'm copying from here to here. Okay. Now what you're going to do, with your compass, you're going to take this little bracket and place it on top of point C, just like that. Put your finger on top of the bracket to hold the compass in place so that it doesn't move when you move or wiggle this edge out here. Then you're going to kind of scoot the compass over, zoom in on that a little bit. And basically, it's like you're measuring the line, but you're measuring it with your compass instead of a ruler. So you want to line up your compass until one of these dots here goes over the point D. And then you want to make note of where that dot is. So for me, let's see, I'm at this little 3 mark, and then it's about 1, 2, 3 away from the 3 on this ruler. You could also just count how many dots, but since mine is kind of big, I want to just use this to kind of help me figure out where that dot's going to be. Okay, now the reason that it's important to remember which dot this lined up with is because this is going to be how we copy the length down here. So once you've got your dot all lined up and you know you're going to remember which one it was, then you're going to take your compass and you're going to move it down here onto the other line. You're going to take that bracket and again place it on this point C, okay, and hold it in place. Okay. Then you're going to take your pen or pencil. Oh, look, see, I already forgot, so I need to go back and measure. Okay, so I know it's right here. Then we go here. Okay. And I know that before, point D lined up with this dot right here. Okay. So I'm going to stick my pen or pencil inside of that hole and just make a little arc using your compass. Now, where this arc intersects this line, I'm going to place the point D. Now, to verify that this segment CD is the same as this segment CD down here, we're going to use something that we call patty paper. Okay, so at the station, you want to get one of these semi-translucent pieces of paper, okay, and you're going to take that and place it on top of your original CD and just copy it onto this patty paper. Okay. So now I've got it on the patty paper, and I can pick this up and I can move it down here, and they match up perfectly. So I know that I copied this segment correctly, keeping it the same length without ever using a ruler. Okay? So that's the construction for how to copy a segment. And in the next video, we're going to do the construction for how to create a midpoint without using a ruler. So I'll see you then.